Hi friends, welcome to Learn Python Codes, and today we are going to take a look at while loop in Python. So let's get started. Okay, so let's create a really simple program so that we can learn how while loop works. First of all, we are going to create a variable and initiate its value with 1. Okay, then we are going to write our while loop. While checks a condition to the point it is true, then we can print what we want. Okay, so while a is less than 10, let's just say, and every while loop ends with a column. Okay, so as you can see, the indentation is under while loop. That tells Python program that what we are going to write currently should go in while block. Okay, now we are going to print something until the moment a is less than 10. So let's print this is great. Okay, if I run the program at this moment, do you know what's going to happen? Let me show you. As you can see, we are currently in a forever loop. It is called an infinite loop because we have not defined what you want to do with each loop. Okay, it checks the condition. First of all, a is given a value of 1. Then it comes to while loop. It checks that a is less than 10. Okay, so it's 1. So it runs first time and prints this is great. Then it keeps on checking it 10 times, but it does not find a break statement to break that loop or what to do when it's done checking this. So it keeps on printing this is great infinitely. If we were to tell it that here's what you do, when you run it the next time, just add +1 to my value of a. Let's run this code, and there we go. We are out of this infinite loop and it has printed this is great. What I want to show you is how you can place the value of a there. See, so what's going on here? It's only showing 1 through 9. It is because it checks the value until a is less than 10. Since at the 10th time a is going to be equal to 10, it recognizes it as a false value. And as I just told you, that while loop runs until the result is true, and when it is false, it breaks apart and just ends that loop. We can also write an else statement with a while loop so that after the last iteration, after the last loop, it will print out that statement. So in else block, I'm just going to write end of while loop as printed. And as you can see, that end of while loop did not run 10 times. It only ran at the last of the 9th loop. First of all, let's fix this looping. We want it to run 10 times. So I'm just going to edit this comparison operator and add an equal to after less than sign. So now we are saying that while a is less than or equal to 10, run this is great. And when you run this is great first time, go to line 5th and check to see how many increments I want to do with it. Since I want to add 1 to the last value, add that and print it again until while loop becomes false. And after you are done looping every single iteration or after every single loop, print the else statement, which is end of while loop. So where can you use it? For example, you are running laps and you want to record each lap. You can just replace this string to laps, and at the else statement you can just write completed all laps. Now this makes a real world sense. See, so laps 1, 2, 3 up to 10 and completed all laps. So this is how while loop works. It checks for the value to be true and runs until the condition is true. And when the condition returns false, it breaks that loop. Now what if you want to break a while loop before completing? You can add a break statement to break the loop. Okay, so suppose you want to break this particular loop at lap 5. So we can add an if statement to check whether value of a is equal to or less than 5, and if it finds that value, it will break the while loop. So I'm going to add an if statement here. If a equals 5 colon, it should print lab 5 reached exhausted. Okay, so let's say we want to break this while loop at lab 5. So I've added if condition a equals 5, the value of lab reaches 5. We want to print lab 5 reached exhausted, and then we need to add a break statement so that it will break the loop at this particular point. Let's run the code. And there you go. After completing 5 labs, it has printed labs up to 5. So that's all there is to know in the basics of while loop. Now I want you to print something interesting. I want you to print out the alphabets using while loop. It will be quite interesting. Pause this video, try it yourself, and then come back for the solution. Let's get started. First of all, we need to understand how to begin. For the values, we need to know the Ascii codes which I have saved on my desktop of each character. So in here, as you can see, the decimal number for character A is 65. And Python supports converting normal decimal characters into their equivalent alphabets. Suppose we want to print that A. We can print it like this, print CHR, and then in brackets the decimal value 65. So let's see if it prints it successfully. Yes, it has successfully printed A. So we already know the CHR, then in brackets, and the decimal value of that alphabet. We can print that alphabet. Okay, we know that now. So we need a variable to hold those values. So for A, it starts with 65. We want to start with character A. So the value should start with 65. Now we are going to start our while loop. While A is less than, now we want to know the last decimal value of character Z. So let's open our image, and the last value is here. At 90th, the character is Z. So we can close this. So we want to see if it is less than and equal to 90. You see, if we do this, if we remove the equal to, it will just print out the values up to 89th decimal number and not include the 90th. So we need to either add 91 here, or we can just keep it 90 and add an equal to here, so that it will run the value up till 90. Now add a colon. So we have successfully written while A is less than or equal to 90. So the range is now 65 to 90. Now we are going to write rest of the loop. So now we want to store the character values in another variable. So that variable can be anything. I'm just going to write B is equal to. We have just seen that we need the CHR function to convert decimal values to their alphabetical values. Now we can write simply our A variable, because with each looping it will pass one value at a time. So in the next line we can simply print out the value of, then placeholder for A is, and the placeholder for B. This will show the value of 65 is alphabet A. If you want, you can write alphabet as well. Alphabet A. This is a formatted string. If you don't know how to create formatted string like this, please watch my video on formatted strings in Python. So now we need to access the string format method. So dot format. Then we want to pass the first placeholder value, which is A, and comma, and B for the next placeholder value, and it is done. After that, we just need to increment the value of A. Remember, we want to increment the value of A with each iteration until it becomes 90. Okay, so let's just add A is equal to A plus 1. You can write it like this, but you can also use much shorter form of it and it will still be true. So A plus is equal to 1. The result are same with this. I'm just going to properly reformat the code. Now it looks much prettier. Okay, So we are done. Now if you want, you can add an else statement, else and then statement, learn my ABCs. Okay, let's run this program. And there you go. Up to 90th. The value of 90th is alphabet Z. And there you go. We have successfully printed all the alphabets. To keep it more, simplistic, let's return the value up till only 70th. And we have successfully printed the numerical value to their alphabetical counterpart in Ascii. So that's how you do it with the while loop. There are just so many ways, and I've just shown you how to do this with while loop. And as you create more programs using loops, you will get much better understanding on how loops work in Python. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.